Welcome back, everybody. In today's video, we are going to build upon the first batch of soap that we did. That first batch of soap was basic olive oil. And now we're going to build on it by adding other oils. So we have coconut oil and shea butter. And we also had olive oil. So basically what we're going to do, we're going to take the olive oil and add coconut oil and shea butter to it to add an even more moisturizing and bubblier soap, okay, and more conditioning. If you haven't seen my video about the one oil soap, you can go back and watch that, and also the video about the soap cap. So today I have my recipe, and basically it's olive oil, coconut oil, and shea butter. We have 8.5 ounces of olive oil. We have coconut oil, which is 4.5 ounces, and I'm just going to add this to that. And we have, which I know it looks like a lot, 3 ounces of shea butter, right? Shea butter, olive oil, coconut oil. These are things that you can easily find in your local grocery store, big box store, or even online. And there are different varieties of shea butter, scented, unscented, yellow, white. So it's up to you as far as your preference. But this is just basically a video to show how you can add on to a basic one oil recipe. Okay. So I'm going to set this to the side because I don't have my heating element here. So I'm going to pop that in the microwave. Have my gloves on. I have my mask. And I'm going to put on my glasses here, and I'm going to mix my lye solution. Remember, you want to mix your lye solution in a well-vented area. You want to have on hand protection, eye protection, okay? It's not that much, so I'm going to go ahead and just pour it all in at once. Okay? There's still a lot left at the bottom, so let me go ahead and hit that. It's a little static in there, but I want to go ahead and get as much, if not all of that, out as I can. And as I talked on the other video, once you add the lye and the water together, it causes a chemical reaction where it heats up, right? So the water is going to heat up to a nice high temperature, right? You can't see it in here, but this solution is a little cloudy, and you want to stir this solution until it runs clear. Okay? And remember, wear a mask or work in a well-ventilated area. Those fumes are coming up. All right? Excuse me. So you mix that until it runs clear. And we're almost there. Now, formulating a recipe. This soap recipe, is very easy, but it provides beautiful, beautiful soap characteristics. So you're looking at a hard soap that's about 40 degrees on this hardness range. If you watch my soap calculator video, it's a 19 on the cleansing. It is a 57 on the conditioning, so that's beautiful. The bubbly is 19 on a range of 14 to 46, and the creaminess is 21 on a range of 16 to 48. Now, that may not be important to you, but these are some characteristics that you may look for when you start making your soap. Now, this seemed to have run clear. I can show you guys, but you probably won't be able to see it against the backdrop of the white container. So it's clear. Let's check the temperature. The temperature right now is showing at 154. I don't know if you guys can see that. So we will set this to the side and get our oils heated up. We're going to let this cool down, but we're going to get our oils heated up. The oils have been heated. They're right now, they've cooled down to 107. The live water is at 97. So we have a 10-degree difference, which I'm happy with that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour the live water into the oils. Nice clean pour. Stir it up a little bit before I get the stick blender. And a lot of time what you're looking for, and I'll probably continue to show you this, especially new beginners, your oils are translucent for the most part. When you pour the lye solution in there, they start to become a little opaque, not so clear, okay? And again, we have olive oil, shea butter, and coconut oil in here. I heated it up for about 2 minutes in the microwave just to melt it because I don't feel like this is enough oil to put in a crock pot, especially the big ones that I have. So the entire recipe with the oils and everything is a little under, it's 24.32 ounces. So that's like a pound and a half. Okay, a little over a pound and a half. So once I mix that blend with the stick, we're going to go ahead and blend it up. And as you can see, once I started blending, it went from that little grayish olivey looking color till it starts becoming like a milky off-white. We still have a little blending to do. And you want to make sure you blend everything. We still have a little bit of oil that hasn't been completely incorporated in the batter, that still has that little olive oil look. Okay, my memory card was full, so it automatically stopped recording, but I'm back. It just took me a minute to replace my memory card, but there's something I want to show you. In the couple of minutes that it took to replace the memory card, the batter got very thick. Now, as a beginner soap maker, you would think that you're at trace, which you possibly could be. But what I would do as a beginner soap maker is blend this some more, because I know prior to my camera shutting off, I still had more oils that hadn't been incorporated. So I'm going to blend this a little bit. Now this is very thick. Okay. I'm going to just stir this a little bit with my spoon. Just for some reason, I don't trust it. But pretty much, had this been all olive oil by itself, I would have not trusted it so much. But because it has the other oil and butter in it, the coconut oil and the shea butter, it looks good in there. So I'm going to stir just a little bit more, and we'll get this poured in the soap mold. I'm going to go ahead and take that off. We're going to call that blended. And if anything comes up after the pour, I will be able to share with you the possibilities. All right. From a not a complete, from a false, what we call a false trace. But this is pretty thick and I'm going to go with it, especially after I have blended it a little bit more. Again, be careful with this soap batter. It has the lye in it. And if it touches your skin, it can kind of irritate or burn. Okay. All right. So this is my batter. See how thick that is? That's thicker than I would want it, but it'll work nonetheless. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and get it poured into these soap molds. Let me put my gloves on. Safety first, because I don't want any of that splattering on my wrist, on my hand. So, as you can see, we got that there, and I'm going to pour the rest over here. And if we need to top off just to make them balanced, we can. But since this will be for home use, it doesn't matter. But if you are intending to sell your soaps as a beginner, you will want to make sure that you have your weights in order. And keep in mind that once the batter dries and loses or the water evaporates, the weight will change. So you can typically weigh it before and weigh it after the cure. Okay. All right. So I know one of these is going to have more in it. And the reason why I pat this down is to get any air bubbles out. You don't want a hole in the middle of your soap batter when you cut it, or your soap loaf. I want to go ahead and get as much of this out as I can, just because that's just the type of person I am. I want to scrape it to the last drop. Alrighty. It's just that easy, guys. Once you get your recipe, let me go back. You get your equipment, learn how to formulate your recipe. Make sure you have your protective equipment, your PPE, your personal protection equipment, meaning the goggles, gloves, long sleeve, face mask, and or respirator, and you're in a well-vented room or place, you can make soap. You can make soap. All right. This is it. So this is the recipe. We have added on to the original recipe of just basic olive oil. This recipe is 8.5 ounces of olive oil, 4.5 ounces of coconut oil, and 3 ounces of shea butter. Okay. I will put the recipe in the description if you guys would like to try this. And thanks for watching. Keep soaping, and until next video. Thank you. Welcome back, guys. I have unmolded the second batch of soap that we made, or I made. You made along with me. So the second batch was building upon the first batch of soap, which was just 8.5 ounces of olive oil. On the second batch, I added coconut oil for hardness and bubbles, more bubbly. And I added shea butter for moisturizing. So if you haven't watched the previous video with just the olive oil, that soap is a nice creamy white. This soap is basically the same. It has a little bit more, it's not as white. And that's the addition of the other oils, the coconut oil and the shea butter. Out of building onto the original 8.5 ounces, we were able to get 2 loaves of soap batter, right? 2 loaves. So just the addition of those other 2 oils gave me an additional 1 ounce loaf. I think it came to a little bit over, it was like I think 23, 24 ounces. So you're looking at like a pound and a half more of soap. So 2 half-pound loaves, something to that nature. So this is what we have. The loaf is nice. It was still just a tad bit tacky when I cut it. And it's been almost a week or longer. Usually with olive oil, it takes a while to set up. It has a little bit of soda ash. You guys can't see that. And it also, to me, looks like maybe, I don't know, the soap is weeping just a little bit. That could be just my eyes and what I see. But this is the result of just building on a simple soap recipe. So if you don't have anything in your home but olive oil and you want to make great soap, you can use olive oil. If you're able to get additions and you have coconut oil or whatever, you can add to a basic soap recipe with whatever oils you have in your home and using a good soap calculator, which I typically use soapcalc.net. But this is it, guys. This is the results, the final results, building upon the original 8.5 ounce soap that I made of olive oil. And the addition was the coconut oil and the shea butter. Guys, thank you for watching. And until next video, keep soaping.